I'm Lisa Fletcher for Spotlight on America. You're hearing a lot about squabbling among politicians on Capitol Hill, but we're looking into the very real consequences for a vulnerable population of kids fighting cancer. Every 40 minutes in the U.S., a child gets that devastating diagnosis. And we got an inside look at a very real lifeline that is under serious threat.
A searing display of loss in the shadow of America's Capitol. From pink sneakers to high tops, showcasing the souls that, for a short time, lit up the lives of those around them. Each represents a child who passed away from cancer in the past year. It is a gut-wrenching exhibit of grief placed directly in the path of our nation's leaders, who are making critical decisions about funding for life-saving pediatric cancer research, which faces the threat of continued cuts.
Cancer is tough, cancer is hard, cancer is smart, and we need to be smarter. And the only way we do that is, at the end of the day, by running clinical trials.
Research often essential to families receiving the worst news of their lives. At Johns Hopkins, many of them getting that news from pediatric oncologist Yoram Unguru.
I will oftentimes, after sitting down with the kid and the family, get some relief when I talk to them about how far we've come.
Progress thanks in no small part to the work of the Children's Oncology Group, or COG, the largest organization that coordinates and funds pediatric cancer clinical trials nationwide. Unguru is its bioethics chair. COG's lifeblood, 60% of its budget is federal funding, which has decreased by 10% in just the last 2 years.
If we continue on that trajectory, what does that look like for childhood cancer research and these positive outcomes that you're talking about 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road?
Well, COG ceases to exist. Were it not for clinical trials, like what are run through Children's Oncology Group, countless more children would be dead, and those who were alive would have much more significant side effects from their treatments.
70 active COG clinical trials are dependent on money from the National Cancer Institute, which faces a nearly 40% budget cut proposed by the White House.
I'm thrilled to sign a very historic executive order.
This fall, President Trump promised to accelerate cures.
You're all going to be better very soon.
By doubling the investment into the Childhood Cancer Data Initiative, with an additional $50 million for AI that will analyze health record and claims data to inform research and clinical trial design.
Does that solve the problem?
It doesn't solve the problem. It's a great start. And if we can leverage AI to help us come up with better ways to run clinical trials, wonderful. But it's not that the AI effort is going to, without the clinical trial and the research, achieve that.
We asked the White House if it would direct the National Cancer Institute to fully fund the COG trials. They did not answer our question, but did say the government only canceled money for grants that focused on DEI and ideological pet projects. For Dr. Unguru, silence on the important questions is what pushes him to keep speaking up for kids.
We need to be the voice for them, and we need to advocate on their behalf. And we need to be able to continue to do that because kids and families deserve that.
Ultimately, Congress decides how much money goes to the National Cancer Institute, which doles out research funding. Right now, the House and the Senate have rejected the White House's proposed budget cuts, but nothing is final until it's signed into law. We're going to keep a close eye on it and let you know what happens. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.